Good afternoon, this is 𝐂𝐨𝐿TS and today I'll be taking your test. So, could you please tell me your full name?
Yes, absolutely. My full name is Armanuddin. Everybody call me Arman. Please feel free to refer to me by my first name Arman as for short.
Well, at this stage of IELTS speaking test, you have to show your ID card. Since this is an example test, you don't have to show any ID card here today. Let's begin by talking about yourself. Yes. Do you work or do you study?
I am a student at the moment. I am at university and I am in my first year. I am doing a bachelor degree in accounting.
Okay, so do you live in a house or an apartment?
I live in a house which is one story and it's surrounded by beautiful garden and which is very mesmerizing.
Okay, what would you like to change about your apartment?
I would like to change. Nowadays there are houses are very modern and suitable for live for people. So this type of thing I would like to change.
Okay. Now let's talk about food and cooking.
Yes.
What sort of food do you like to eat?
Generally, I am not picky about food. I eat to maintain health and balanced life. I usually opt for traditional food which is available at my home, like rice, vegetable, salad, so on.
Okay. Who normally does the cooking in your household?
Frankly speaking, women are assigned to cooking and men are to work and bring groceries. I have grown up watching my grandmother and my mother preparing tea time food for us, and sometimes my sister helps them to cook at my home.
Okay. Do you watch cookery programs on television?
To be honest, I don't. I'm not interested in learning to cook. I have never tried cooking anything. But sometimes my mom watches cookery program on television, then I watch.
In general, do you prefer eating out or eating at home?
To be honest, I usually avoid to eating out and prefer to homemade food. Homemade food items have better taste and superior nutritional food values. And I enjoy my breakfast, lunch, dinner with my family members more than eating in a restaurant or a bistro. And sometimes when I stay with my friends, I love to go to restaurants to have some food.
Great. Have you ever made anything special for your family members?
Actually, I didn't have any chance to make any special for my family. But in the future, I would like to change anything for them.
Okay, great. Now, I will give you a booklet and you'll have to talk about a house or apartment that someone you know lives in. You should talk about whose house this is and where the house is, what it looks like inside and outside, and you'll have to explain what you like or dislike about this person's house or apartment. You will have 2 minutes to describe it, and I'll give you 1 minute to think about it, and if you want to take some note, here is a paper and a pencil.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I would like to talk about my auntie's house who lives in a countryside in a small village. Her house is beautiful example of traditional rural dwellings. My auntie, who is a retired teacher, she lives there with her husband and her children. She is my mother's cousin and her house is surrounded by lush field and tall trees. And it's about 2-hour drives from the city. The name of the village where this house is located is called 𝗂𝐿𝐴. Moving on to the interior of the house is cozy and warm. The walls are printed in a light cream color and the wooden floor have a nice dark polish. The furniture is all old and traditional with a big wooden table in the kitchen and a comfortable armchair in a living room. And the bedroom are upstairs and they have a sloping roof with little window which let in the sunlight. Lastly, what I love most about my auntie house is a peacefulness and serenity that surround it. The view from the windows are breathtaking. You can hear the birds singing in the morning. And moreover, the house is always warm even in the colder days of winter. One of the things that I dislike about my auntie house is the internet connection is not strong, so it can be quite frustrating at that time.
Okay, now let's talk about different types of home in your country. What kind of home are most popular in your country?
Well, in rural area, it's not difficult to find a place for reside. There is a lot of space available in a reasonable amount of money, but it may be quite frustrating not to find up-to-date facilities in countryside area. In urban area, you can find a suitable place for living and with modern facilities, but the prices are too high.
Now, let's talk about different types of home. What kind of home are most popular in your country?
Well, in an urban area, high-rise buildings are most common accommodation types for people in my country. But most of them like to live an independent two-story bungalow, but this is not affordable for all. Only rich people have such house. The villages have muddy house and tent house, which have look quite different and have a great traditional value in my country. With the modernization and increasing population, the high-rise building, the houses are replaced by modern high-rise building.
Great. What do you think are the advantages of living in a house rather than an apartment?
Living in a house may cause certain issues like insufficient space, no access to sunshine during the winter and shadow in the summer. Apartments are not built according to the builders. Houses are personalized, can be planned as we want. We can put things in order and change them too. These facilities are not available in apartment. We can box the sun and have a garden in our house.
Okay. Do you think that everyone would like to live in a larger home?
Well, I believe so. If people have a choice, everybody would love to live in a larger house rather than an apartment. An apartment is a minimum arrangement for a family to have some rooms to live in. It does not offer often a space facility to have garden, flower, plants or a yard. The homeowner, on the contrary, can enjoy these facilities and have a great freedom, which is unimaginable in an apartment.
Okay. Let's talk about finding a place to live. How easy it is to find a place to live in your country?
Well, in rural area, it's not difficult to find a place for reside because there is a lot of space available in a reasonable amount of money. But it may be quite frustrating not to find up-to-date facilities. In urban area, you can find a suitable place with modern facilities, but the prices are too high. So if someone does not have a large sum of money to spend on his accommodation per month, he will surely find it hard to arrange a suitable place for them.
Do you think it's better to rent or buy a place to live in?
I think owning house is crucial. It's a dream of every human being to have his or her own house. Where she or he can live with family. It keeps you stress-free and feel comfortable if you have your own house. A renter's house, it's not something that can allow you be happy. Paying rent may imbalance your budget and lead you to work overtime. And in my country, many people live in a rented house, and which is very compulsory.
Do you agree that there is a right age for young people or young adults to stop living with their parents?
I am double-minded about this question. We citizens of Bangladesh cannot live with separately, and there are some purposes like living, working, studying, anything special or serious condition make our mind stop living with our parents. But there are some Western countries where they have to choose to live without their parents. But I believe that if we must live with our parents because their life experience can help us to develop our life.
Okay, so this is the end of today's test. Thank you very much for joining.